Okay, that should be a bit better now. Okay, lovely. So I'm going to record this. So I'll put it on the page because I know some people can't get on this exact time. And it's something that I get asked all the time, is to try and break down the success plan into some manageable chunks. So I've done this in 2 half-an-hour presentations. So today we're going to look at QV, how it's broken down, what that means at each different level, and actually what that looks like in terms of numbers and people. Because once you break it down, it actually isn't that scary. You know, the first time I heard, that the maintenance of a national vice president was 160,000 QV a month, I literally fell off my chair. But obviously, that's me, just a brand new consultant coming into the business, not understanding how this amazing business works. So over the next 20 minutes, half an hour, I'm just going to explain that to you about the importance of growing a team and then helping those people to become really successful in your team. So 160,000 QV, I promise you, it isn't as scary as what it sounds. Okay, so I'm sure you all, if I'm teaching you to suck eggs at this stage, then just bear with me, because there'll be some people who haven't even heard of the success plan. So basically within the Arbonne, there's 4 levels of management. Every single person comes on board as a consultant on day 1 and they're good to go. And at that level, you can earn 35% commission on your sales. You can earn 15% commission on your preferred client sales, and we've got a really amazing bonus, which is a 6% override. And what override means is basically it's a percentage of your business that you get paid for your entire business. So you earn an additional 6% on top of your commissions as an independent consultant straight away. Once you then get started into the levels of management, then there are requirements of you to hit a certain level to be paid at that level. Okay, so the first one at a district manager, I love this level because at a district manager level, not only do you earn 8% on what you are generating and your entire team are generating, 8% on top of your commissions, you also get paid 8% on all your own shopping. So that's when you start getting paid to literally wash your own hair, which I really love. As you can see, there's a layering process here. So you'll always have, you're always at district manager, and then on top of that, you get paid these incremental amounts on top of them. Okay, so as a district manager, you get 8%. Obviously, as an area manager, you get 14%. As a regional vice president, you get 17%. And as a national vice president, you get 18%. Now, this does vary because it is not only on your immediate team. So everybody that you personally sponsor into the business, you're going to get paid the same amount in terms of an override as what you do on your business. But once you get to district manager, you start getting paid on the depth of people. And that's when it gets really exciting, because you're literally being paid on hours that don't exist for you. And that's what you want to be doing straight away. Even as a consultant, you want to be getting business builders on board with you and then growing with you alongside you. And you helping them become successful will actually mean that you're going to become even more successful. So the first level of maintenance is, as a district manager, is to hit that 2,500 QV. And you'll see as the business, as the levels of management increase, you can see it's a 4-fold increase in business. So from a district manager to an area manager, obviously it's just 2,500 times 4, which is 10,000. Exactly the same from an area to a region, 40,000. Exactly the same then from a region to a nation. So you get a 4 times increase in your business. And what we do is to break it all down so it sounds really much more palatable and manageable to think about, is we think about breaking it down into 2,500 QV building blocks. So everybody who comes on board, if you start thinking that you're responsible for you and your team of a 2,500 QV building block on a monthly basis, and then all you've got to do is build a team of people who are going to be building on their own 2,500 QV building block. It's not a lot of money. You're looking at £1,800 worth of products for you and your entire team for an entire month for you and your central team. Okay. The key thing is obviously then getting other people building the same things alongside you. So we'll have a look at a few examples of what that actually looks like. So as I said, if you're a district manager, you've got that responsibility to your maintenance of 2,500 QV. So you can see, we've got district manager in the middle there. Let's just, for argument's sake, let's just say that's me. And then what your aim is to get to area. You remember your maintenance is 10,000. So the minimum requirement on you is to have 4 of those building blocks. Okay. And we'll talk about, this is obviously just to make things easy and the numbers easier. You could have 10 people doing a smaller amount of things. It doesn't matter as long as you're hitting that 10,000 QV. But this is a really nice visual way to be able to see it. So my aim for me as an area, exactly what we're doing at the moment, I've got 10 people in the business at the moment who are wanting to build the business. But let's just use an example, Michelle and Judith and Kirsty in this example. So Michelle, Judith and Kirsty are going to be on board here, and I'm going to help them make sure that they're going to build their building blocks of 2,500 QV. That is going to mean that we hit our maintenance, just the 4 of us, 4 people. If we're just doing the bare bones within our business, that's going to be a maintaining area. Okay, so we'll ramp it up a little bit so you can understand then what the step up is to region. So as we talked about it before, it's that 4 times increase in building in your business. So obviously we've got me in the middle. I'm still doing my 2,500 QV, and that's made up from my preferred client sales, my client sales, and my consultants, all my consultants that are coming on board. All of my consultants, even the ones that are my consultants, until one of the people in my team steps out as a district manager. Okay. And then in that example, it's exactly what we've got here. So I've got 3 people that have stepped out from that position who are responsible for and they're still responsible for their own 2,500 QV blocks. The people in green are the ones I've directly sponsored. And then what they've done is gone out and sponsored themselves. So I've sponsored 3 people. They've sponsored between 3 and 5 people, depending on obviously which person it is. It's irrelevant really. But the point is 40,000 QV, if we divide that by those 2,500 QV building blocks, means that's only 16 people. 16 people, that's it. Maintaining at that region level, just doing the bare bones of the business, the maintenance of the business. Let's have a look at that for nation, because we don't want to do region. Of course, we want to be at region, but really you want to be at nation. At nation, as we know, is where things are really, really life-changing. They could be life-changing at region. You can earn £3,000 to £5,000 a month, and you get a lovely car, and you get treated loads of, gifts and stuff. But at nation, you can actually start to do things that are genuinely life-changing for other people. You can set up orphanages or fund charities or whatever it is that you want to do. You start to have some incredible choices here. So that's where we want to be aiming. And again, all we're doing is looking at that growth within our network. So I'm still beavering along in my central business, generating new QV on a monthly basis. And so are my directs. They're my first generation that I've personally sponsored. The people in the orange are my second generation, who my first generation have actually sponsored. And then the people in the red are my third generation. And that's obviously who the orange guys have sponsored. Okay. So again, just looking at those, we've got 64 people in total, which is not a lot of numbers. If you think, in my actual numbers now, I have over 150 consultants. if they were all active, we would be executive
What's the
national
cat
vice
looking at?
presidents already. You know, that's the reality of it. But 64 people built up over a period of time. Remember, most people get to nation within 3 to 5 years if they're really consistent at their business. So we're building these numbers over a period of time, and those 64 people again are still on a monthly basis just responsible for that 2,500 QV. Okay, so what I want you to do is just start thinking about your dream home, what it is that where you picture yourself living. This is one of mine. I have a few little pictures like this on my dream board. Oh, sorry. Bear with me a second. I'm just going to
I think
mute.
we started watching it, didn't we?
Mute. There you go. Just so people can't hear what's going on in the background. Okay. So we want to have a little look at this property. Now, when you're looking at any sort of property, there's going to be levels to it. And this is the way that you need to start thinking about your Arbonne business. And we look at it like this. Within Arbonne, we have levels. So we have our maintenance, our qualification and promotions, and then the compensation and bonuses. We want to be working towards those compensation and bonuses, and I cannot stress the importance of that enough. I've managed to get to area twice, and to be honest, limped in with being at area, and was never consecutively or consistently hitting my bonuses. And I realised that that's where the error was. And over the last 5 months, I've just been really constant on working on that central business and hitting those bonuses every time. That's where the money is. There's money available to you that's being left on the table every single month because we're not hitting these bonuses or going for these high levels of compensation. What often people do once they get into the business is they get stuck at their maintenance because they know that's what they've got to do. That's what their goal becomes. Now, please don't let this happen to you. It happened to me for such a long time. I'd be like, well, I need 2,500 this month. That is maintenance. We don't want to be in the basement. Think about that beautiful property that you want to live in. You don't want to be in the basement. It's dank, cold, miserable. It's where all the rubbish of life gets stored. And that is not what a goal should be. We should be aiming much, much higher than the basement level. Ground floor's great, it's looking really smart. We've got our qualifications and promotions on this level, which is great. We obviously need those to get to those top levels. We want to be aiming for promotions. Of course, they're part of our goals. But on a monthly basis, I promise you, if you start to get into the mindset like all the EMVPs do, every bit of training that I've read is if you concentrate on hitting your district manager bonus and building your central business on a monthly basis, that's just 5 new customers a month, 1 a week is the way that you want to look at it, and getting that growth in your central business, that will 100% get you to where you want to be. So let's just flick through these. This is where we want to be aiming. Top floor, the penthouse, the best part of the building, what's got all the views. We know we've reached it. This is where we're going to maximise on the compensation and the bonuses that are available to us. Arbonne literally give us money, extra money. As a district manager, it's £125. As an area manager, it's £250. As a regional vice president, it's £375 extra a month just for generating this new business growth. So this is what we want to be focusing on, and the rest will just happen. So we have a competition within our nation called the Roger Bannister Award. And as you guys probably know, Roger Bannister was the first guy to hit to run the mile in under 4 minutes. And he was, since he did that, he was the first person who did that. It took absolutely ages and ages, years and years and years for anybody to get anywhere close to it. And the moment that he did it, within weeks, 4 or 5 people actually beat it. So it was put out there that couldn't be done. So what we do is we say, well, let's aim for maintenance to be hit by the middle of the month. That gives us then the opportunity to be able to then concentrate on the second part of the month to hit the compensation and the bonuses, which is where we really want to be. So myself and Michelle hit our Roger Bannister Awards. You get a book of recognition. You get a recognition book, which is a personal development or a network marketing book, and you get recognised within the whole team. Because really, your maintenance should be done and dusted. I mean, like in the first week would be ideal, but we say to hit it by mid-month. Then you can concentrate on your money earning activity in the second part of the month. Okay, so as we know, they're the QV values that you want to be hitting as maintenance by the mid-month cycle. And that will propel you 100% to where you need to be. So let's just think about that as the bigger picture. So this is how now I think about building my business. So for my central district business, I want there to be 5,000 QVs in my central business. Okay. We've already hit that way past that this month already. Okay, so that's new business builders, current consultants that are in my central business, current and new PCs, all the QV that's in my central business. I want to hit as a 5,000 QV. That means then I'm going to hit those compensations and those bonuses as well. So in the example we've got at the moment, Michelle's obviously going for her district manager bonus this month. She's really, really close to achieving it too. So can you now see just two people, me and Michelle, in this situation? If we're both going to hit our district manager bonus, that is us maintaining. Obviously, we've got lots of people within our network, within our central business that are supporting that 5,000 QV. But it is just two business builders that can create an area if you focus on your district manager bonus. A bonusing area is halfway to region. That's just 4 people who are actually focusing on building their businesses and hitting that 5,000 QV total. A team of 8 is a region. And a team then of 16 is obviously, well, we can work this out, is obviously going to get us halfway to region. To nation. It is that simple. Every single EMVP training that I've listened to talk about these 5 things as being the action points to be able to hit your 5,000 QV. Time, mindset, activity, duplication, and consistency. My 100%, my fault was that I would be active for a couple of months and then do nothing for a couple of months. Active for a couple of months, do nothing for a couple of months, which just was crazy. That was me like restarting every couple of months. The consistency is 100% the thing that you need to focus on, even if that means just spending half an hour of income producing activity a day, and you do that consistently over a period of time, you're going to have way better results than like binge doing one day a week. That you're going to have a much better result over time. Time is a big one. Really do think about your diary. Allocate that time, which is going to be for Arbonne on a daily basis. And the mindset is, if you haven't got the right mindset, then none of the other things will work. If there is a chink in your armor and your belief that you can do this, then it's just not going to work. I had a one for ages before I realized that I could actually do this business. So really think about that. If you have any doubts, any sort of niggles within your stomach that is that something's not sitting right, then that's what we need to address before we do anything else. And there's tons of stuff we can do in terms of reading and personal development on that. Activity. I thought I was doing my Arbonne business for the first 2 years of my business, but I wasn't doing anything. I was like fiddling around on Facebook, playing around with my lovely folder, cleaning my products. I wasn't doing the activity, that income producing activity, simply reaching out to people and contacting them to ask them to take a look at this business. It is not rocket science what we are asking people to do. at what we're asking of ourselves. And it is always the chimp that gets on our shoulder that talks us into not contacting that person or not picking up that telephone on that day. What I do now with my activity tracker is make sure it's the first thing that's done in the morning, that I've contacted that one person on my list to ask them to take a look at the business. Get it done and out the way, and then you can stop thinking about it. I promise you'll waste more time and energy thinking about Arbonne. It's absolutely ludicrous, and it will exhaust you if you just rethink about that time and reinvest it into some income producing activity. You'll feel 100% better about the whole thing. I wasted days, so don't worry, we all do it. I've wasted absolutely days on that. And then duplication, that's obviously what we need to do now. So duplication is where we're obviously going to get people within your business that are joining, that are doing the same thing as you and duplicating the process out. So over the next few months, we will, and I'll contact you all directly, we're going to have a lot of income producing activities. So we're going to have lots of workshops, nutrition workshops, skincare. We're going to have business presentations. We obviously have the Discover Arbonne. We're going to do online Discover Arbonnes. And then we're going to do those for each and every person within the business, so we can start opening up into your network, so you can start feeling confident in doing that income producing activity. So just getting started. We did, Arbonne did incredible incentive, as I touched on at the beginning. And this really is just to, as a consultant, just to get you used to the management structure, the fact that there are some targets that you and your team will have to meet. And this is a great halfway point, because what it does do is encourages you to firstly build your customer base. So if you get 500 QV in PQV, that means your sales, your personal sales, your client sales, and your preferred client sales. If you get 500 PQV, then if you've got any consultants within your network and they're building their business, you're automatically going to earn 6% on everything that they are generating in terms of a business. Okay, so it's encouraging you to get that growth straight away. That's where it stops at this level. In the next training that I will do for you will be on the more of the detail about first generation, second generation, and the percentages that you get. But this is really just to get your head around the numbers in this one. And then it encourages you to think about hitting that maintenance. So as soon as you've got 2,500 QV in your success line coming in, and you're starting to sponsor new people, that is really the maintenance of a district manager anyway. So it's getting you to the place where you need to be as a district manager, where you've got new sponsoring coming in. So that can be in the form of preferred clients or independent consultants, and getting them to start thinking about their 150 PQV. I have no customers that join the business or consultants that do not put a minimum of a 150 QV in. It's madness. It's madness if somebody puts a 50 QV order in, because they're paying to join, they're going to pay shipping, they're not going to get a free gift. We need to maximize as consultants. We need to know, and that's why we put the folders together, to make it as easy as possible for us to ensure that they are going to get the best deal, because we want our customers and consultants and consumer consultants to know that they've got the very, very best deal. And it is to do a 150 PQV order as a minimum, okay? And in doing that, Arbonne recognise you, and then you get a bonus for that as well. So that's where we're at, where we get started. I don't think I've got enough time to finish the second part on, so I will do a recording for it and I'll put it on so you can see it. But it is a bit of a mind FUC curve, I not swear, when you start thinking about the levels of it. So I just want to leave you with this. This is the beginning of anything that you want it to be. And, you know, the reality is you can crawl, walk, or run with this business. And if you do what I did and crawled with it, it's a bit of a dredge, it's a bit of a journey. And I mean, I could have quit 100 times because the pace wasn't there. and I wasn't seeing the results as quickly as what I should have done. But the reality was I wasn't putting the work in that I needed to put in. I wasn't being consistent with this. If you can allow enough time, a minimum of 10 hours a week, and you're consistent with your time, you're going to get there way, way, way quicker. If you can allow more time, you're going to get there even quicker. We've had just very recently a 21-year-old graduate in America who joined the business as a consultant and got to regional vice president in 4.5 months. It's happened in this country with Claire Fishenden a few years ago. She did it in, I think it was 4 months as well. So it is possible. Our lovely Danny Wells, she got to region in 11 months. It is possible to do it as quickly as you want to do. So what we need to do between us privately is I will contact everybody, and we need to do some goal setting to work out where it is that you actually want to be with this business. And then we can work out what QV you need to get there, and then basically the activity that you need to be in to generate that level of QV to get you there. So I hope that's been really helpful for you guys. I'm going to record it and stick it up on our page. So feel free to share it within your teams for your consultants, and I will do the second one, which will really start to give you an understanding of the success plan. Thanks for coming and seeing us this evening. Lots of love.